Hello everyone, my name is Miller and welcome back to another season video. The bi-weekly overview of what you can expect in the coming 14 days in terms of events and cars in CSR Racing 2. And on top of that, the latest news from the community. For today there is quite a lot to talk about. We have the season prize car, the milestone car and the Holy Trinity event which started today, with perhaps a Duality Cup next week, which is by no means confirmed. I will also give some extra information about the new Elite Showdown, and the lock-ins are known for the next Fast and Furious event, with 2 cars which might become purchasable for gold coins, and there seems to be also a separate event called Evo, where you can use old Fast and Furious cars. So let's just blast straight into it. Like usual, first up, claiming of the car of the previous season, the Lamborghini Huracan rocking the Liberty Walk silhouette body kit, making my Huracan collection complete, as it has now cemented its place next to the regular Huracan, the Huracan Liberty Walk, the Performante, Performante Spider and the Evo Spider. It really is a nice collection to have, and it reminds you of how many Huracans we already have in game. As for performance on this car, I haven't had time for excessive testing, but the shift pattern is like the SCG-004C, a bit messed up, as the ideal shifting point is way too low, but that brings an advantage, a dyno which can be crushed to even 0.2 of a second, making it most likely the fastest Huracan we have in game, as my best attempts strand me on a 7.97, with the current fastest Huracan being the Performante Spider on a 7.959. Another advantage of this car is that it shares stage 6 parts with the regular Huracan, meaning you can buy and strip these if you want to get a chance at a stage 6 part, making this car more easy to upgrade compared to the Performante Spider. Again, a landslide win for this car. For newer players, this is really the go-to car if you manage to get it. In case you do not like the red version with these rims, from next season on there will be another 8 versions which can be pulled from the crates in case you have quite some luck, with spec number 4 being my favorite hands down. As for the future, what this car could mean, the Silhouette series contains another 3 cars which could come to the game at some point, being the R35 GTR, the R34 Skyline looking like some hill climb monster, but then also a kit for the 458 which looks pretty sleek. Wonder if any of these would actually come to the game at some point or become part of that customization survey they did 2 seasons ago. Done with living in the past, onto the now. Season 103 with as a prize the Aston Martin DBX, one of the cars that makes me go,
yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
As from the front this really looks like a damn sweet SUV by Aston Martin. I really like the integrated Aston Martin grille and the headlines design, making this alongside the F-Pace one of my favorite SUVs out there design wise. And then when you turn to the back, with the ducktail which kind of caught me off guard. But I do like the way they integrated the rear lights into it, and it honestly makes the car just look that much bigger. And I gotta say that spoiler on top is kinda cute too. But other than that, this is a bit of an odd SUV. The goal is to bring in the luxury and the spaciness of the SUV, but to bring the sports car vibe with the Aston Martin brand. With its 550 horsepower output and a 4.5 seconds 0 to 62, it has to stand behind the Urus, which has a mighty 650 horsepower and a sprint time of only 3.6, and then the Bentayga, which is a lot heavier, still outperforms the DBX with 600 horsepower engine, pushing the 0 to 62 in a time of 4.1 seconds. So does this really play in the big boys tier? The rewards for the top 10 crew will be this red version, while us milestone players get the, at least in my opinion, better looking midnight blue version with the bronze accentuated rims. As for performance, I have not had the time yet to test it, so for that I hope to be able to push out a season max video this season. But this is a good car to save for in the future, as it might become a prestige car at some point. Good luck racers. The prestige car then is another tier 4 car, and it's a new one as well. The Maserati Gran Turismo MC Stradale with the Liberty Walk kit, and to be honest I did not even know a kit existed for this car, so I was pleasantly surprised when it came in the update notes. The Gran Turismo MC Stradale has been in game for quite some time now and recently made an appearance as a prestige car on season 96. It's one of those cars you either don't like or absolutely love it, as it's one of my best friends his favorite car, while I'm still confused to what it wants to be, luxury or sports car. In case you were to own an MC Stradale and you want to have this body kit in carbon fiber, you would have to put down only $16,000, but that money is a big change in the way the car looks like. It really slams the car to the ground, giving that sleek, long design, a bit removing the sportiness of it, but increasing the badass factor quite a lot. In case you do not own this car yet, no worries. Tomorrow starts the 10 times drop rate on the silver crates, if, unlike the Continental GT, it actually works this season, and you get to shoot your chance at trying to own one or more of the 18 available specs, which can be seen in the rare import spin in the showroom. Normally I'm not kind of a blacked out guy, but spec number 13 to me looks very stealthy. But it reminds me of another car which I would really like to see in game at some point, being the Murcielago Liberty Walk, because this thing is just so sweet. Onto the events, and the most obvious one is the second part of the Hypercar Festival, the Holy Trinity Cup. A duality cup with 3 cars, making it a triality. If you don't believe me, it's an actual word from the Oxford English Dictionary, you can look it up. This Trinity Cup really is an event many free-to-play players have been waiting for, mainly due to the fact that 2 of the 3 eligible cars are literally unicorns in this game. And you damn sure know I am talking about the McLaren P1 and the Ferrari LaFerrari. Aside of a drop rate on gold crates in November of 2016 for the P1, these cars have never had an event, meaning no opportunity of getting these in the past 3.5 years from crates on higher chances. Despite not having an actual value on terms of performance in game, these cars are so desired that to this day people jump out of their couches when seeing this car roll out into the garage. I know many rank 1000 plus players not having either one or both of these cars, so this really is something I think the community is rather pleased with. The third car then is a Porsche 918 Spider, of which there are 3 versions that can be used. Either the regular 918 Spider, which was twice already a milestone car, or the 918 with the Martini Racing livery from the 70th anniversary. But now there is also a new version, the 918 Spider Weissach package, which is the Gold Star with a pretty solid 7.582 record. This Weissach package alongside the P1 and the LaFerrari can be pulled from the crates on a higher drop rate with a 7-pull loyalty. The issue with the loyalties not rewarding the car has now been fixed, and players affected will be compensated tomorrow. There is also a second issue which isn't really mentioned, but the crates are disappearing once a car is locked in for some people. For those I have no news, so I will try to hold up for one day to see what happens. For other people like me who own the cars and can just go ahead, the event in terms of difficulty is the complete opposite of the Hypercar Forum. It is very doable to a point where every race can be won fully fused on stage 5 I think. Not 100% sure on that, we'll have to try that tomorrow for myself, but it looks to be rather promising on the easy side. And in terms of rewards, these are higher compared to the Hypercar Forum. I'm flabbergasted, this is great for free-to-play players, and I hope it sets a standard for future events. Aside of the issues with loyalties and the crates, this event is pretty much solid in my eyes. It could have been a bit higher in difficulty to make it a tad more challenging for some players, but that's not really complained, as for newer players this is of course already quite challenging. Now the other thing that launched today, the Elite Showdown but the sports cars version, meaning a reset playing field without those having the McLaren F1 on level 50 completely maxed out. Now what seems to be the case is that the Huracan and the 911R are pretty much tied up once you put them to level 50. Surprisingly though, is that the Ferrari 488 Pista Spider is not part of this lineup, despite being part of the Elite Sports Cars collection. Also on the update notes there was mention of showing Apex cars, which should be the 911R in this case, although this is not really clear which the go-to car is in this case. The next Apex car should be the 488 Pista Spider and the one after the Honda NSX in tier 4, perhaps meaning that in the latter one, the 911R and the Huracan might not even be usable. I'm quite curious to see how that will pan out on the long run. Another event is not confirmed by any means but rather speculated. A Duality Cup might come for 2 of the sports cars collection pieces to help you out with some upgrades and some elite tokens to help you customize them. There is no real black on white proof of this, rather than a photo I saw saying it should have happened already last season. One of the 2 cars seem to be the Vantage, but the other one is either the 911R or the 488 Pista Spider. But according to the original update notes of the 2.12 update, a drop rate for the Pista Spider is only expected to happen in season 112, according to Natural Motion's count, making it 104 according to our count, so only for next season. Another possibility then is the next Fast and Furious chapter. We do not know much about this one despite it having 2 events, a regular event and an Evo event. The first regular event will have 5 lock-ins, of which the first 2 slots being the free-to-get Chevrolet Camaro Z28 ASC and the Liberty Walk NSX. Most likely 2 cars which will become buyable through gold coins when the event comes around. The other 3 slots then are for the paid new Silvia S50 Mona Lisa, the Subaru WRX STI from the 4th movie, and the final lock-in being the Tokyo Drift RX-7 driven by Han with the Fortune wheelside body kit. This will then become the event which will reward you the APR Evo 9 from Tokyo Drift, just like we had with Jesse's Jetta. But more interesting, there will be also a second Evo event, a 5 lock-in event where you can pretty much use any former Fast and Furious car without a fixed lock-in scheme. So I think this will be like Izzy's Assistance, allowing us to rerun some cars for extra parts and rewards. Curious to see what happens, to be honest. And with that, I think I will close off for today. All the information I knew, you know too by now. I will try to put out a Holy Trinity video tomorrow with more information. If you enjoyed the video, do not hesitate to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. My name is Mille, see you around and keep racing.